Now, this particular iguana perhaps lives in the Sonora Desert. Closest thing I can give you is Arizona Desert. Might be connected. So what do I want to tell you? Well, I've got to tell you, this morning, a lady's video was forwarded to me. And she has picked up on what I think a lot more and more of you are going to start picking up on. And that is, you have been had by, this lady was blaming the government. I blame big pharmaceutical companies in my last talk. And someone else will probably throw in, I don't know, mainstream media. In essence, what we are complaining about is in ancient Rome. There were certain administrations of ancient Rome where they had a dictator. A dictator is also known, especially if the dictator is brutal in his means, the dictator is known as a tyrant. I did talk to you in a video in the last little short while about Machiavelli, who was the one who wrote the book The Prince in Italy. And it was basically a lecture on how to become a tyrant. Now, most people would say, I don't want to be ruled by a tyrant. The people who might like a tyrant are perhaps the henchmen of the tyrant, the ones who get to act in the tyrant's name. People who are perhaps you would say sociopaths. That is, people who enjoy ruling with an iron fist. People who are brutal. But there is a strange spiritual teaching that says if you are ruled by a tyrant, it is a great blessing. That seems insane. And yet, for the new seers, the sorcerers of Sonora, this is one of their teachings. The book is The Fire from Within, written by Carlos Castaneda, who was an apprentice to the Yaqui Indian shaman Don Juan Matus. And in The Fire from Within, Don Juan talks about a human problem that can be ameliorated by having a tyrant in your life. And the human problem is self-importance. Don Juan Matus was primarily concerned as a sorcerer with not wasting his energy. He felt that someone who was going to face the unknown, or what he said was the unknowable, needed to have all of his energy. So there was various techniques to go and retrieve lost energy. And ways of corralling one's self-importance so that one's ego, he didn't use ego, but I'm going to use ego, one's ego didn't lead one into wasting a lot of energy on useless pursuits. So, if you are feeling like you've been had by COVID-19, the quarantine, instead of stamping your feet and screaming at the sky, perhaps it's time you dig into the works of Carlos Castaneda. Now, The Fire from Within is not his first book. So you're going to have to decide, do you want to start with The Fire from Within? Or do you want to start with his first book and read them in series? We're going to say, flip a coin. In other words, you could start reading from the very first book in the series, or you could start with The Fire from Within right away. It depends upon, perhaps, how much reading you want to do. But if you're going to start, and you're very, annoyed at being quarantined by the tyrant, then you should start with The Fire from Within. I am Don Juan Matus.